Hello and welcome to the Big Ideas Show. I'm Lee Batchelor and today I'm joined by Emily Ghassempour from the Shepway Sports Trust. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me today. And people may know you from the Shepway Sports Trust, but you also do loads of other things. Go on, give us the list.
I do work at Shepway Sports Trust as a project manager, focusing on community engagement, but I also support Amy at the Red Box Project for Folkestone. I'm a trustee of Sunflower House. I'm also a trustee of the Folkestone Sprucer Project.
Yep.
I connect the community together and help people out to kind of find their way, I suppose, in Folkestone.
Sounds good. We're going to be hearing more about that after these titles. Thank you for joining us here on the Big Ideas Show. This is the show all about finding people like Emily who are doing great things in the community and learning a little bit about why and what. I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, the Glass Whitewall Company, our venue, who are the Grand in Folkestone, and to all our crew and contributors. But without further ado, Emily, thank you very much for being in the hot seat today.
Thanks for having me.
You are, I think, to summarise everything you do, because you gave us, to be honest, your list was fairly extensive, but I know there's even more things than that you do. You, to summarise, you're a connector, right?
Yeah, I think that would be a good word to describe
everything you do.
What I do and who I am.
And I'd also want to add to this, and this was kind of my interpretation from chatting to you before, like a champion for people, a champion for the community, that person that goes, no, come on, you can do it, or just gives that little support when people need it to get them on that first step.
Yeah, I would say definitely that is absolutely a good way to describe it. I sort of feel like I try to give a voice to people who might not have their own voice. So I support them to try and, realise themselves, the best possible version of themselves, I suppose. Nice. But in a non-pressured kind of, you're going to come and do a training course with me to be the best person. Not that way at all. It's more of a fun kind of engaging, I suppose it's a friendship thing as well, just building that trust and the rapport, building that relationship with different people so that they know that I would be somebody that they could come to help them to find a way, I suppose. Yeah,
and from everything I've heard, that is, you are that person when people think, right, I'm looking for this or I need someone who can help with this, you are the person that it's the person in the middle that connects them all up, really. But I want to hear about your story in a little bit more depth, because I think everything you've done illustrates everything you're saying. But rather than starting at the beginning, I want to start with Shepway Sports Trust, because I think everything you've done up until that point is now expressed in the role, because I guess what people may think Shepway Sports Trust in the name does, and kind of what you bring to it is something completely different.
Absolutely, yes.
So let's hear about that. What do you do and why you as the person that's in that role?
Okay, so I'm a project manager for Shepway Sports Trust, but my role is definitely focused on the kind of community engagement aspects of a project manager, I suppose. So I bring in people to Shepway Sports Trust who would not necessarily have ever engaged with what Shepway Sports Trust does. So, I suppose really marginalised people, like I said, people who haven't got a voice, people who think, that's not for me, there's no way I could go and run around a sports pitch. And to be honest, that was me 6 months ago. Yeah. I thought there's no way I could even go and work there because I'm not sporty.
Yeah, I love that you described yourself as not sporty, yet you are working for Sports Trust, because I imagine that name in itself must put a lot of people off.
Exactly. And so my role is there to go, look, that was me, it's fine. You don't have to be this sporty, person, get down and give me 20 press-ups. It's not like that at all. It's much more, my role is much more about just saying to people, come and try something, new, be that just a way to get active, a way to do a bit of exercise, a way to feel good about yourself. And then go on to do different things like training courses. So for example, I'm doing a project at the moment called Moving Forward Together, which is funded by the European Social Fund, and it's working with people who are long-term unemployed in East Folkestone. And at the moment I've got like a group of men who are long-term unemployed, and they're like, no way would I ever go to Three Hills, this isn't the place for me. But they've come and they've enjoyed it, and they're, you know, moving forward. So it's people who you wouldn't necessarily think would go to somewhere like Three Hills Sports Park. Getting them to come and see what it's like to feel the buzz of doing physical exercise.
Yeah, and I really like that you're using sport not just for sport's sake, but it's a tool to do other things. Like you said, you're using sport, but the aim is to get people who are long-term unemployed back into employment.
Absolutely.
One step at a time.
Yeah, that's it, exactly it.
Okay, let's go back now a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell us, you've done so much, so it's going to have to be a fairly kind of pointed history, but some of the key things that have got you to that place where they went, right, we've got a sports trust that's doing pretty well, but you know what, we're missing that person who can connect us with the community in a different way. What have you done to be able to be that person?
Well, before working at Shepway Sports Trust, I worked for 8 years at Folkestone High District Council as the Community Engagement Officer. So I was in the communities team there, very much working in East Folkestone, so the most deprived wards of the area, doing lots of various different projects, so working with lots of different community groups, residents associations, partners, all sorts of different, varied right across from the arts sector to mental health to sport to everything, youth projects, older people. So that grounding of that 8 years gave me that opportunity to be able to go to Shepway Sports Trust and say, look, these are all the community contacts that I have. This is what I think you're missing. Let me do it. I'll bring it to the table. So that grounding was really, really important. Before that, I did work in the arts in London, doing various different roles in kind of marketing, community engagement, project, sort of freelance work. So it is a varied sort of potted history of work, I suppose, to get me to where I am now. But where I am now is the best.
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly, it really is. It sounds cheesy, but it is.
And tell us about some of the other projects, because you touched on a few of them. Red Box Project, we've obviously seen Amy in previous episode.
We have.
The Spruce Project, we spoke to Alex as well. Kind of all of those, how did those come about? Was it something that they were going and they pulled you in, or is it something that you've got involved with and you couldn't help starting those more challenges?
The Sprucer Project and Sunflower House, the transformation of Sunflower House, were very much, it feels strange to say this, but were very much my idea, I suppose, in conjunction with one other person who is sadly passed away now, David Taylor. But he was an amazing person who was basically a community champion, just a resident in the area who wanted to see the area get better. And he approached me at Folkestone High District Council to say, can we do this? And I helped him. Together we made it happen, essentially. Together we made it happen. So, and then obviously as time's gone on, the project's gone from strength to strength. And then when David sadly passed away, I was asked to become a trustee of the project because obviously I know about it right from the beginning. Sunflower House was a derelict chapel. It was a place that was completely smashed and broken and just destroyed. And now it is a beautiful community facility. So it's really great to kind of think, I've been in Folkestone for 10 years and that I've been able to be a part of all these things. And now I feel like there's so many other people that are coming in and being part of this community. There's like 20 of me now, you know? I really do feel like that. And if I can sort of help other people to do a little bit of what I'm doing, then that's great because Folkestone needs all of it.
Yeah, but you really were there at the start because, Folkestone 10 years ago was a very different place.
Absolutely was,
Wasn't it? Yeah. So take us back just a little bit, but that kind of what is it about kind of your background? Why do you get so passionate about this kind of what and kind of your upbringing or kind of it's previous, earlier you mentioned that you'd done stuff in marketing and community outreach and other things, but made you kind of want to get involved in this?
Well, I was born and raised in Yorkshire, in Leeds, and I'm from mixed heritage background. So my father came here in the 1970s from Iran, and it was, his struggle, I suppose, that has always helped me to kind of feel like to keep going. He came here, didn't know anybody, came here when he was 18, didn't have any money, couldn't speak the language. There was lots of barriers, and he was able to educate himself, learn English, and it wasn't easy, but he did do that, and he sort of kind of became the person he is now. He's always said to me and my sister growing up, you know, treat people equally, always treat people equally, treat people with kindness. We always had lots of love and kindness. We didn't have money. We weren't brought up, you know, in that sort of environment. We had quite humble upbringing, really. But there was always kindness and compassion. And I always look at my dad and think, it must have been really hard for him, you know, to do what he did, come over here when he was 18 on his own.
Yeah.
And a little bit part of me takes that amongst everything that I do. I look at other people and I think, we're all just human beings, we're all one. Why should we, you know, kind of think somebody's lesser than somebody else? So that's a kind of good grounding for where I'm coming from. Also, my grandfather was an amazing man, a very political character on my mum's side, because my mum's from Yorkshire, so I'm Yorkshire Iranian. It's like an interesting mix. But you know, he was very influential in my upbringing, and he was a very sort of political man from a mining family, and he was very about sort of, you know, believing in what is right and wrong, and really standing up for what is right and wrong, and giving those people who maybe don't have the voice, give them that voice, you know, if you can. And that's what I've always just lived my life like that.
Awesome. It's really inspiring.
Never been afraid to kind of live my life like that. It's just who I am. I can't change it.
I love it. I love it. It's awesome. Okay, we're going to be chatting a little bit more. We're going to have a quick break now, and then we'll be back after this quick break. We're back. I'm here with Emily Ghassempour, and it's been wonderful hearing about the why of what you do and your inspiration, your motivation for it all. But I want to hear a little bit more about how you do it, because I think it's this thing, this mysterious ability to connect people and bring people together. And I think, you know, sport, for example, you say, oh, right, you provide sports facilities, opportunities, and people just want to do them, but obviously they don't. So how do you, not just in the sport, but how do you get people to engage where otherwise they wouldn't?
That's a really good question. I mean, to me, honestly, I just feel like I am myself. So there's a lot of going out and just meeting people, you know, events, different, setting up meetings through different partnerships. I mean, it's not all just me. I'm not just like roaming the streets, finding people saying, come on in.
Oh, really?
No, sorry. It's not quite work like that. I mean, a lot of it is partnership working, of course. So, you know, we partner with organisations like Mind, the mental health charity. We partner with all sorts of different organisations, and really it's just, I will go and I'll meet people and I'll listen to them, you know. Maybe,
do you think that's it? Is it the listening?
Maybe longer than maybe somebody else. I don't know if it's longer or shorter or what it is, but there's a lot of listening that goes on. There's a lot of just kind of come and just try it. I promise it won't be scary. If I can do it, you can do it. And it's about breaking those barriers. Like I've said to people, you know, they see me do something and I'll just be a bit silly about it, because I'm actually really honestly not that good at sport. And never really have been. I didn't grow up in an environment where I was told, you know, encouraged to be sporty necessarily. And lots of the people that I'm seeing that come onto our projects are the same. Well, I've never done sport. I didn't do sport at school. I wasn't very good at this and that. And I'm like, neither was I. And I kind of whisper it to them, you know, neither was I. Honestly, it's like, I'm a fake. But it's about that, just breaking down that barrier and saying to them, just come and try something. It's literally, this project we're doing with the Moving Forward Together, we're just playing football, and it's just a friendly game. There's no coach, there's no, come on, we've got to do this. We're doing it at our own pace. And I think if you talk to people in a way that says, look, there's this opportunity for you. If you want to come and join it, I promise it won't be scary. If it is scary and you don't want to do it, I won't be offended. You can leave at any time. And it's just making people feel comfortable with that notion that it can be how they want it to be. It doesn't have to be like in a gym where everyone's staring at you, or it doesn't have to be, you know, a football session where there's a coach kind of watching every move. It's just, no, there's going to be no coach. There's going to be no gym with loads of like really fit people. We're all just going to be there together. And I think if you can get them through the door on the first session, knowing that that's the setup and that's the environment, they seem to be coming back. So it seems to be working. I think honestly it's just about being yourself and just being really natural, being true to who you are, and just having a bit of fun.
Fun, I think it's got to be the big word, hasn't
fun
it,
is a big word. Lots of laughter. There's lots of laughter at my sessions. So that's what it's all about.
Awesome. And I hear you've taken up skateboarding.
I have indeed.
Amazing.
So that was another thing that was just like, everyone's like, you're mother of 2, you're 35 years old, you're skating, this is crazy. But why is it crazy?
Yeah.
Why can't we just do what we want to do,
Yeah.
be who we want to be?
Yeah.
And the freedom that skateboarding gives me is just that feeling that is just, you can't, it's like no other.
Yeah. What was it like the first time you did it? Having not done, I assume never doing it.
Never
before.
doing
Yeah.
it, scary. I
Yeah.
will be honest, scary. I got a little bit confident and fell off.
Yeah.
And it really hurt. But I think if you can get back on straight away, even when you're in pain,
Yeah.
you know, you get through that first fall and you just keep going, and it's the wind in your hair,
Yeah. Yeah.
the sea, the path. It's just, it's fantastic.
And it's being a role model, isn't it? I think that's something that I
the
said at the
thing.
beginning about you being a champion, like a champion and supporting others, but a lot of that is you doing it first and going, hey, look, I'm
Totally.
going to do it and I'm going to mess it up or
Yeah.
show you that it's not that so bad. And yeah, you've
That's exactly it. And it was the same with boxing. That I
Yeah.
started going boxing, and I've managed to get some women to come along who would never have come along to something like that
Yeah.
because they thought it was really violent, really scary, really like intimidating. There's going to be loads of men there that are really fit. No.
Yeah.
This is an all-women's session at Dover Road Boxing Club. It's so relaxed. It's such a bargain. It's £2 a session. You go along and you're just laughing. You're laughing so much that the endorphins, it just makes you feel so good.
Yeah. So what would your advice be? You said at the beginning about like listening. What would
That's,
your advice
yeah,
be to
important.
other people who want to help, want to support, want to, you know, and it could be anything from they want to go out and help their community in a bigger way in some of the ways that you are, or it could just be their friend or a family member that they want to support to not necessarily get active, but take that step to push them out of their comfort zone. What would be some of the key skills that you think you have? And this is maybe where it's hard because it's making you go, what are you naturally, intrinsically good at that you do that gets people inspired to go, you know what, I'm going to take a step that you'd recommend that they do?
I think I do remember things. So I do check in on people a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of checking in, and there's a lot of, hi, how are you? Because I didn't see you last week. Are you all right? Because we missed you. We missed you last week.
Yeah.
And they go, you missed me? What?
Yeah.
These are people that have never been missed in their whole entire life. And for someone to say to them that they've been missed
Yeah.
is a really big deal. And they remember that. I know they remember that because then they come back the next week. So checking in on people, you know, telling them that they can do it, really believing in them that they can do it.
Yeah.
And the whole time that somebody's doing something, just mass encouragement, like, wow, you saved that goal, it was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
And they're like, really humble, like, oh, I saved a goal. But she's actually saying, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's people who haven't ever really been told that they're amazing to keep telling them that they're amazing. So there's a lot of checking in on people. Yes, the listening. You know, just that friendly face to be there to say, you know, how you doing today? And if you're having a bit of a bad day, let them tell you they're having a bad day. And just sort of say, okay, that's great. How can I help?
Yeah.
Be that person that says, how can I help? And they might
Yeah.
just say, no, it's fine. Thanks for offering.
Yeah.
But just that they know that someone cared.
Yeah. And I guess
I
it's
think
not
that's
having
really-
the answers, is it?
I don't have all the answers. I'm not here to say that I have all the answers by any stretch of the imagination. But I think if you can just show sort of compassion and humanity, you know, we're all humans. It's about humanity. It's about just understanding each other a little bit, kind of on a level where there's just caringness, you know, in your sort of life as you go along with your whole life. We all get busy. We all have our jobs to do, you know, you get buried in it, but honestly, it will make you feel so much better if you just come up from that and really just show a bit of care.
Yeah, definitely. Wonderful. Right, I'm going to give you the opportunity. We could talk forever, but you're going to have to pick now which projects, what have you got coming up that you want to shout out that people might want to get involved with, be they Shepway Sports Trust, any of the others. You can either go for one in depth or tell us all of them and then people can go online and find out more info.
Okay, so the two ones I want to shout about at Shepway Sports Trust are moving forward together.
Yep.
So if anybody's out there that is long-term unemployed, and that basically means that you've been unemployed for 12 months or more, that is literally the only prerequisite that you have to be unemployed to come on this project. We run a session every Tuesday at Three Hills Sports Park where we do football, table tennis, basketball, boxing. There's a whole array of different sports and exercise and activity that people can come and join. And also if they've got their own ideas about what they want to do, they can come and just talk to us about it and we can put them on. We also have the social aspect within that project. So after we've done the exercise, we have some food and drink together. we'll talk about what we want to do, our aspirations, and where we'd like to see ourselves kind of in about a year's time. So it's really relaxed. There's that. And then the other one is with Kent Refugee Action Network. On a Tuesday morning, we run a session. It's an all-female session at Sunflower House, where we do a short circuits class and we learn English together. So any women out there that want to improve their English skills, want to come and do some circuits, come and get involved. It's all free.
Awesome. And website, Shepway Sports Trust?
Shepway Sports Trust.
.org?
.org.
Shepwaysportstrust.org.
Yeah, and it's all on our social media channels anyway, so you can find us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.
Nice. Awesome.
Thank
Okay,
you.
those are your two projects, weren't
They're
they?
the two projects.
Okay.
I'd like to talk about Red Box really quickly, because Amy's amazing and we're doing loads in every school, but we've also, last night we were approached by Family in Need. You know, we are there not necessarily just for the schools. If there are people out there that are suffering, that they're in need and need our help, please do get in contact on Facebook.
And that's Red Box Project Folkestone.
Yes, please,
Emily, thank you so much indeed. It's been absolutely wonderful. And just keep doing what you're doing. That's all I need to say, really, isn't it? Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you out there for listening, for tuning in. And if you are doing great things in the community, or you know someone who is, then please get in touch. We'd love to have them in the hot seat right here. Final words, just to say a big thank you to our sponsors, the Glass Whiteboard Company, to the Grand, who have been our hosts tonight, and to our contributors and crew. We have Hacks from Prisma Broadcast, we have Warren from Flourish, and we have Erin from 6-2. And behind the cameras, we have Maddie, Hannah, and Gary. So a big thank you to them, and I'll see you next time.